Hi there, welcome to BA Consulting Pro. Imagine you are working in an organization where you have to deploy your Power BI content from one workspace to another. You have different workspaces for development, testing, or maybe for the production one. Now, for the deployment of Power BI content from one workspace to another, we use deployment pipelines if you are using Microsoft Power BI Premium. Well, in this case, I have already created a lot of content on deployment pipelines. For example, what are deployment pipelines? What is a backward deployment? How to deploy content from one workspace to another. And also recently, I have created another video where I have explained the code change or change review. That means how can you get to know what are the changes that you are deploying to the next environment? Well, if you haven't watched those videos, I'll provide you a link in the description section, so please don't forget to watch them. In this video, I'm going to let you know what are the deployment rules. Well, if you are interested in this topic, please stay tuned with me till the end of this video and I'm going to let you know everything about it. My name is Ajay Kumar and I create contents on Microsoft Power BI and Microsoft Azure. If you would like to learn more, please don't forget to subscribe this channel and hit the bell icon for all the latest videos and updates. Now, without wasting any more time, let's get started. In my last video, I have explained what are the new changes in deployment pipelines. And in this video, I'm going to let you know what are the deployment rules. That means what are the different deployment rules available in deployment pipelines. If you would like to create a deployment rule, then you need to read certain content on Microsoft website. And here it is. Over here, you can come and you can check what are the different deployment rules and how you can use them. Not only that, you would get to know what are the supported data sources for data flow and data set rules, and what are the considerations and limitations that you must know before start working on them. Let's assume that you have read this article, and I'm going to provide you a link in the description section as well. After that, what you have to do, you have to come on your Power BI service portal. Over here, I have created one deployment pipeline by the name demo. In our last video, I have shown you the latest update in deployment pipelines. Over here, last time this symbol was not appearing. And as I promised you that Microsoft rolls out the changes in different iterations. So now you can see that it's available. And if I click on this, the new window is going to appear and I can clearly compare my code between my development environment and the test environment. And here you can see the changes also appearing, that what was the difference between these two environments. And here I'm going to show you how to create the deployment rules over here. First of all, please do remember that in the development environment, we cannot create any of the deployment rules. And why is that? Because you are not going to deploy the content into the development environment. Development environment is your very first environment. That's why there are no rules over here. We need deployment rules when we have to move content into another environment. For example, from dev to test, then in test we need those rules because we may need to change our data source or parameters over there. Once you come on this page where you can see your all the deployment pipelines, here you will find this symbol with the striking symbol and which says deployment rules. So please click on this. Once you click over here, you will find your all the data sets over there. Over here, you can click any of the data set or a data flow. There you can define two types of rule. One would be your data source rule, another would be your parameters rule. Over here, I have this e-commerce data flow. This is a newly data flow that I have created in my development workspace, and then I moved into the test environment or test workspace. Over here, you can see that there are two kinds of rule. One is for data source, another is for parameter. Now, what is the difference between them exactly? Generally, what happens in the big organizations, our test environment is different, our dev is different, and our production is different. That means the connection would be different between these environments, and also it may happen the source is also different. So over here we have this opportunity that we can dynamically change without changing anything inside the PBX file where we have created our data set or data flow. So if I click on this add rule over here, it's going to first ask me replace this data source. That means my existing data source, and in this case my data source is a file which is over here on my OneDrive. So this e-commerce data file I'm using as my data source in my data flow. So I'm going to use this. And now suppose your file is different or your file path is different for your test environment. So here you have this opportunity. So either you can select the same if it's same, but as I mentioned, if it's different, select other, and there you can again mention it. It's taking same by default because I don't have any other. Otherwise, you can simply replace it over there. Now coming to the another part, which is parameter rules. Over here, please do remember that if you haven't created parameter inside your Power BI report, then it's not going to appear. We create parameters, or we make the data source to change dynamically using parameters, or we can also create parameters for any other part. So I'm sure you are aware about why do we use parameters in the files, basically to make the contents dynamic. And if you don't have any parameters inside your .pbx file for data set or data flow, then it won't highlight it. In my data flows, I have created a parameter for the data source to change it dynamically. So that's why it's getting highlighted over here. So I can simply click on this. I can select my parameter name, which is file path, and this is the value. So it's saying for this parameter, this is going to be the value. Let's suppose in your case you are creating certain other parameters, then also those are going to appear here. You can define their values over here. Once you do that, you just need to click save button, and that's how you are defining it over here. After that, simply close it. That's all you need to do. And the same you can do once you are going to deploy your content from here to your production environment. Over there also you can define your rules, and which you can see again once it's going to get completed. Then you would find the same button over there, and over there you can define all those data source rules and parameter rules. It's completed. So either you can go to the workspace. I'm just gonna close this. Over here again you can see that these two different rule boxes are appearing, so you can again start defining those. So based on your own requirement or own connection string or the different parameters that you have defined into your PBX files, you can use it over here. These are going to be very helpful for you when you are working on big projects or in big organizations where you have multiple deployment pipelines, multiple connections. I hope now you have complete understanding about the deployment rules and how to set them up. If you have any question and concern, please don't forget to comment in the comment section. Also, if you are looking for any of the Power BI training, please don't forget to connect with us. See you in the next video.